Have you ever noticed how sometimes when you're going through an old box of photos or stumbling upon a forgotten childhood toy, you're suddenly transported back to those moments? It's almost like time travel, right? You're there, you're in that memory, you're reliving every detail, the smells, the sounds, the emotions. But then the phone rings or someone calls your name and you're snapped back to the present. This dance between yesterday and today, between memories and moments. It's a curious one, and one I've actually been thinking about for quite some time. Today's episode is all about the past to the present. It's about understanding the delicate balance between cherishing what was and embracing what is. If you think about it, life is like this beautiful library, right? I was recently in New York, and I remember the days of spending a lot of time in their public New York library, and it's so beautiful, and it's massive, and life is like this. Like each book on this shelf is a chapter of our life. It's filled with stories, it's filled with lessons, and it's filled with memories. And some of these books we read through quite often, right? Thumbing through the pages of our favorite moments. But what about that book that's being written right now? The one that's open on your desk, just waiting for you to write today's story. Are you giving it the attention it deserves? You see, memories are like echoes. Bear with me. I promise I'm going somewhere. But memories resonate with the sounds of our past, right? Reminding us where we've been and what we've experienced. But echoes, by nature, they're not the original sound. They are a reflection, reverberation of something that once was. Living solely in these echoes can sometimes mean we're not fully experiencing the symphony of the present. Here, consider this. How often do we find ourselves saying, "Remember when," or "Oh, those were the days"? It's a testament to the happiness, the significance of those times, right? However, the glorifying our past, we sometimes inadvertently dim the brightness of the current moment. Are we so caught up in the nostalgia of those were the days that we fail to see the beauty of this is the day? I'm going to ask that again. Are we so caught up in the nostalgia of those were the days that we can't see the beauty of this is the day? I'm Chad Lawson, and let's calm it down in 3, 2, 1. Snapshots. Consider a simple, everyday object, such as a camera. You probably have one in your back pocket as we speak. But the camera captures moments and freezes them in time, right? Like each photograph is a slice of life, a tangible piece of our past. But have you ever been so busy trying to take the perfect photograph that you missed out on the experience itself? Maybe it was a concert, maybe it was a family gathering, or just a beautiful sunset. We sometimes focus so much on capturing the memory for later that we forget to live in the memory as it happens. And this brings us to this reflective question. How do we balance the act of preserving memories with the art of living in the moment? Right? How do we do this? It's like walking this tightrope, right? If we lean too much to one side, you might find yourself lost in an ocean of nostalgia where the past seems more colorful than the present. But then again, if we lean too much the other way, you might miss out on appreciating the valuable lessons and the happiness and the joy that your previous experiences have brought you where you are. Here, think about this. This is really what kind of opened the box for me with this episode. As I was diving through and just making notes, each memory that we cherish was once a present moment. I'm going to say that again. Each memory was once a moment. That first kiss, the day you graduated, the laughter you've had with some friends, those were all once now. They were lived, they were felt, they were experienced in real time. And just as those moments were precious, so are the ones we're living in right now. But the trick is to not let the echo of yesterday drown out the melody of today. Did you hear that? The trick is not to let the echo of yesterday drown out the melody of today. In our journey through life, memories, they serve as signposts. They remind us of our journey, how far we've come, and sometimes how far we still have to go. And they're this collection of our experiences, right? They shape who we are and the paths that we've taken. But yes, it's important to look back at these signposts, these guides, if you will. It's equally important to keep moving forward to the next one, to keep creating new experiences, to keep taking new exits and highways and new memories. But it's that balance that we keep returning to, right? How do we make sure that we're not just living in the echoes of yesterday, but we're also savoring the moments of today? Well, I'm going to share with you some thoughts on balancing the life of before and after. You may want to write these down or come back and listen to this again, as they are super helpful. At least they have been for me. You ready? First things first, mindful awareness. Yep, I'm going to say it again. Mindful awareness. Practice being present. What do you mean? I know you hear me say this all the time, but I say it because it's so important and it makes such a difference. Mindful awareness. This demands a certain simplicity, just a simple directness of being, B-E-I-N-G, to be present in. It's about being fully present in the moment, whether you're engaged in the conversation or just tasting every part of a meal or just walking through a park with your phone left in your pocket. It means really being there, not just in body, but in mind and awareness. Because when you pause to be present, every sight, every sound, every sensation, it becomes vivid. It becomes more than a photograph. You're not just an observer passing through these moments. You're walking through each moment. You're living it through each moment. And it's incredible to experience. You're not just an observer passing through these moments. You're living, you're walking through each moment. Take, for instance, a conversation with a friend, right? It's not about just hearing the words. It's about listening to the tone, about listening to the pauses and the unspoken truths that hang between the lines. It's about being there, really being there with the person in front of you, just as much as you would want them there in front of them. But it's engaging with their reality as much as your own. Or a meal. I love food. It's about tasting every flavor. It's about noticing the texture of food and the way it feels in your mouth. It's not just about eating. It's an experience through all of your senses. It's about the present, the now, and the full engagement with the act of eating. I was at a conference recently and I was sitting next to someone who I didn't know at a random table. And I watched them eat an entire salad as they flipped through their phone the entire time. No shade, We've all been there. I've been there myself. But I'm trying to get to the point of leaving my phone aside, or leaving even my Kindle aside, which never leaves my side, of leaving it on the table or in my bag and just being present for the meal. And just realizing that that meal is that particular meal, that moment, which you will never experience again. Or maybe when you're walking through a park, right? It's about feeling the ground beneath your feet. How many times have you stopped and just felt the air in your skin, the subtle changes in the landscape that's around you? Maybe it's a walk you've done for the last month. Maybe tomorrow, try to find something you haven't noticed yet. But it's about being a part of that scene, not just as someone that's just observing or passing by. It's being aware. It's about stripping down experiences to the core. It's about facing them head on without the distraction of past regrets or future anxieties. It's about living each moment as it comes, raw and unfiltered. And it's a practice of being wholly and completely in the now when life happens. Which then brings me to number 2, having gratitude for the now. Each day comes with its own set of blessings and challenges, let's be honest, but acknowledge them, embrace them, realize that this day will never be the same. It won't. Sometimes the days they feel like they are on a Groundhog's Day, but when you break it down and look at it, each day is going to have its own set of blessings and its own set of challenges. By appreciating what you have now, you enhance the quality of your present moment. This practice of gratitude for the now is about recognizing and accepting the intimate and the immediate moments of every day. And every day has its own mix of good and not so good things. That's okay. Instead of focusing on what it could have been or should have been, it's more about quietly recognizing what it is right now. Because when you embrace the present, here's the thing, you're not running away from its challenges. Instead, you're facing them directly. You're not pretending they don't exist. You're staring them in the eye, and you're understanding that each difficulty is a unique part of your day. And just as a day passes, the difficulty is going to pass also. And it's recognizing that even in tough times, there's value, there's a reason, there's a lesson, there's muscle to be learned, to be built, to grow with all of these experiences. These moments where you find how beautiful life can really be. And it's being grateful for these moments that helps us just let go of distractions, no worries about the past or the future. There's nothing wrong at all with going down memory lane, but it's important to balance this with an appreciation for the present. Living too much in the past or fixating on the future can obviously distract us from the now, and the opportunities that are right in front of you. So when you ground yourself in the here and the now, begin to open yourself up to the fullness of life around you as it unfolds. And speaking of embracing a healthier, more mindful life, I want to change direction really quick, and I want to share something with you. It's become part of my daily routine. You guys have heard me talk about this a number of times, and it's called Dose, an expertly formulated organic wellness shot that supports your liver in one delicious drink. What's amazing about Dose is how it's packed with completely clean, scientifically backed ingredients. It's USDA organic, has 0 sugar, 0 calories, it's non-GMO and vegan, not to mention it comes in sustainable packaging. I have been incorporating Dose into my daily wellness routine, and I've really noticed the difference. The flavors are great, and it's so easy to make it a part of my day. What stands out to me about Dose is its potency. Listen to this. 1 shot of dose for your liver is equivalent to 17 shots of turmeric juice. And I do love turmeric though. And it's not just about individual ingredients. The Dose's formula has undergone clinical testing showing that it supports healthy liver enzyme function. Your liver is like your body's filter, essential for over 500 functions daily, impacting everything from brain health to digestion. Dose for your liver contains potent turmeric, milk thistle, dandelion, and ginger, all clinically shown to support liver health. And here's something special for all of you listening. If you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health, Dose is offering Calm It Down listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That is 30% off your first order. Guys, that's amazing. Go to dosedaily.co/calm and use the code CALM, CALM. That's dosedaily.co/calm and use the code CALM. Now, let's get back to our exploration of memory and presence, starting with the role of memory as a companion in our journey. Well, what do you mean? Memory can be a companion and not a crutch, right? Treat your memories as companions and not crutches that prevent you from moving forward. I'm going to say this again. Treat your memories as companions, not crutches that prevent you from moving forward. Cherish them. Cherish these memories. Learn from them, but don't let them keep you from creating new experiences. These memories, rich with past experiences, they are a well of wisdom. There's something to be drawn upon in quiet moments. And it's like a friend, right? Our memories, they are always with us. They walk alongside us. They wake us up in the middle of the night. Though I don't have many friends that try to wake me up in the middle of the night. But it's important not to let memories lead the way or dictate your path. And it's hard sometimes to not let that happen. But the danger lies in becoming too reliant on them and letting the comfort of what has been overshadow the potential of what could be. I'm going to say that again. Don't let what has been overshadow what could be. Memories should not overshadow the unfolding story of your life. Next, create the balance. Dedicate time to reminisce, right? Allow that. Have a memory snack, if you will, but also make time for new adventures. Creating balance involves two things. It involves giving yourself time to look back, right? To revisit those days. If you imagine staring at an ocean, and as the waves come in, each wave is kind of a memory, right? It comes and then it washes away. And you're experiencing that, and you're acknowledging that those were parts of your ocean, if you will. But yet, in the same way, we have to have the balance of a forward gaze, a readiness to embrace what new waves may be in the ocean. What parts have we not swam through? And this is where the let's try it comes into play, right? So in the spirit of embarking on new adventures, it's kind of like setting sail in like this ocean that we're looking at with a sense of purpose and just being curious. So just asking ourselves, you know what? Let's try this. Where have I not been? Where have I not sailed to? And you're not rejecting the past. When all of a sudden you get into a ship and you head a new direction, you're not. You're not rejecting the past. It's just a natural progression. It's a step into the unfolding story of yours that awaits. And in balancing these two, the reflection and the action, you find this harmonious existence. It's like the steady cadence of oars cutting through water. Each stroke is a memory, but each push forward to step into new experiences, right? This balance isn't about dividing your time equally between past and future, but just understanding the value of each. Create the balance and acknowledge both sides. And then finally, live in the moment for future memories. I want you to realize that the best way to create meaningful memories for the future is by fully living in the present. One day, today will be a memory. Do you realize that? One day, where you are right now, it will be a memory. Living in the moment for future memories means to truly embrace and focus on what's happening right now. The way we experience each moment today will shape the memories that we look back on tomorrow. The present isn't just about something that passes. It's where we create memories that last. What we do, what we think, and what we feel today becomes what we remember tomorrow. Today will turn into a memory one day. How you live it now will shape how you remember it later. And as we think about creating memories and embracing the beauty of the present, I want us to also consider the role of what we wear in our everyday lives. Today's support comes from Jenny Kane, a brand that truly understands the essence of experiencing every day, especially with luxury and comfort. And winter is just around the corner. And honestly, the past few winter threads of mine, they need a refresh. Jenny Kane is a California brand through and through, offering staples that make getting dressed easier than ever. And their approach is minimalist, which is my favorite, and also effortless. So it's completely refined and just amazing. From luxurious cashmere sweaters and accessories to elevated versions of all of your everyday basics, not to mention the most incredible home essentials too. Jenny Kane is here to help you live your best holiday season yet. And right now, for a limited time, listeners get 25% off their first order. Use the exclusive link, jennykane.com/com to get 25% off. Personally, I am obsessed with my Jenny Kane hoodie. I'm not going to lie. I literally have to hide it from my 13-year-old son as he's always looking for it. And then there's the sweaters, like the Flynn cashmere sweater and the cashmere half zip. They are so comfortable, but they look amazing. They're perfect for any occasion, and I can truly live in them all season long. Plus, they have a stunning collection of quality shoes that style so easily with anything. I've been eyeing their classic cold weather Brooklyn lug boot for my wife. And let's not forget the incredible reward programs where you can earn up to 10% back with every purchase. Gift yourself and your loved ones the best gift of all, Jenny Kane. Our listeners get 25% off their first order when you use the exclusive link, jennykane.com/com. That's 25% off, JENNIKAYNE.com/com. Let getting dressed be one less thing to worry about. Now, I want to move towards wrapping up our discussion today. And I want to reflect on how we can apply what we've learned. I know we've covered a lot of ground today, but I want you to remember it's about living in the moment and creating those valuable memories. At the end of the day, it's what we're trying to do. But you might be wondering, where do I even start with this? Well, I'm glad you're asking, because I have a few things that will get you started this week. Here's what I want you to try. I want you to focus on 3 simple steps that can make a really big difference. All right? The very first one is called a memory reflection journal. Once a week, spend 15 minutes writing about a past memory in detail. I'm going to say that again. Once a week, spend 15 minutes writing about a past memory in detail. Then connect this memory to something happening in your life today. This helps you see the influence of the past and the present. Memory reflection journal. Just 15 minutes. Write down one of your memories in detail and then connect to see how it connects with you where you are right now. The second one is called a sensory mindfulness exercise. It sounds kind of fancy, I know. But I want you to choose one routine, one activity each day, like showering or just a cup of coffee. And I want you to focus intensely on the sensory experiences involved. I know it sounds silly, but trust me, once you start doing this, it's going to change your life. I promise you. But I want you to focus on the sensory that is involved with it, right? Be it smell, be it touch, be it the taste, be it the sound, be it the sight. I mean, how easy is that to do with just one thing throughout the day? Be it the shower or a cup of coffee or just even noticing when you're driving, just the road and just what's around you. Don't take your eyes off the road. But this really begins to deepen the present moment and becoming aware with everyday simple task. Remember earlier how I was saying I was sitting next to the gentleman that was eating his salad mindlessly? I mean, he could totally benefit from this exercise. So choose one routine activity that's each day and focus intensely on these sensory experiences. Again, that's like smell or taste or touch or the sight or sound. You'll find when you start doing this, you're going to remember whatever that activity is, and you're going to start doing this in more parts of your day. And then finally, the future memory creation challenge. What? I'm going to say that again. Future memory creation challenge. Once a month. Just once a month. Plan an activity that is specifically designed to be a memorable experience. Guys, months go by fast. Years go by fast. And a lot of times I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, did I even do anything this year? But when we do this, when we create an activity specifically designed to be a memorable experience, right? It can be anything from a themed dinner at night at home to a spontaneous road trip. There's an amazing balloon festival coming up. I still remember the one that I went to about 5 or 6 years ago. It was such a highlight. It was incredible. But find one thing once a month. And it doesn't have to be big, just something memorable. Because the goal is to create a future, right? To create a future memory by fully engaging in a present moment, right? So what you're trying to do is you're trying to take this one thing that you're going to do each month, and you're going to do it, and you're going to be present, and you're going to participate, and then you're going to look back and you're going to recall how much you enjoyed it or what it was like. Maybe it's a bust. Maybe it's an absolute bust. We just spent Thanksgiving in New York with our kids, and they were throwing up the entire time. But you know what? That's a memory. We were present. And you know what? Sometimes that's just how life handles. That's just how things go. But create a future memory so you can look back on something and say, do you remember that time? But you have to be present when you're doing it. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to go back to the idea of life being like a camera, okay? Imagine life as focusing on what really matters, capturing those happy moments, learning from the difficult times, and always ready to give things another try if they don't work out the first time. Imagine life as focusing on what really matters, capturing those happy moments and learning from the tough ones as well. Just always ready to give things another try if they don't work out the first time. But I just want you to remember, it's important that even though a camera takes photos of the moment, it's up to us to actually live in those moments. So I want to leave you with this question. Are we just collecting memories like photographs? Or are we really living and shaping our own stories? not just enough to just gather experiences. We should be actively involved in them. We should be present. Sometimes putting the camera aside. Our goal should be to make each day something that we'd want to remember, not just a picture to put into an album and look back through, but a real experience to be a part of. This week, I want to focus on making our lives not just a collection of images, but a story full of life, full of meaning, full of action. So I leave you with this. What moment can you fully immerse yourself in today? As soon as you take out these earbuds or as soon as you hit stop, what moment can you fully immerse yourself in today? What memory are you creating right now? Thank you. Thank you for listening. More importantly, thank you for living, truly living. I invite you to join me again for our next present moment together. But until then, always remember, live fully in each moment you have, not just in the memories of moments past. Embrace the present, engage with it, and let it fill your life with new stories and new experiences. Because when we do, it will. Until we meet again, make every moment count. And join me next time as we calm it down. To find more episodes of Calm It Down, see where I may be appearing in your area, or just simply want to know where to send me some chocolate chip cookies, visit calmitdownpodcast.com. This podcast was written and produced by yours truly, Chad Lawson, composer, pianist, and nationally recognized sweet tooth. The views, expressions, and techniques in this episode are of my personal opinion and not intended, nor should they, serve as a substitute for medical advice or diagnosis rendered to you by your individual doctor or other healthcare provider. Only a licensed physician should evaluate your situation, provide a diagnosis, or render other medical advice to you, and you should only act upon the advice of this physician. Now, I'm an extreme empath by nature, but my profession is that of a composer and pianist, not a licensed therapist or physician. I hear from thousands of listeners how my music has helped them through various stages of emotional needs, and I simply want to offer this in future podcast episodes to aid those needs. So to find a list of licensed professionals in your area, please visit calmitdownpodcast.com. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, please leave a review, or better yet, share it with a friend. While it takes less than 60 seconds to do, its impact will last for years to come, as every little bit helps in growing the awareness and the importance of mental and emotional health. Thank you for listening. Thank you for living. And until next time, be kind to your mind and join me again as we calm it down.